You happy, Cal?
Yeah. I just went on TV and I said, the only reason this will work is because the players are allowing it to work. And that means you got kids with high character. You have kids that care about one another, that trust each other. Basically trust what we're doing here, that we got their back. If they looked at me and didn't trust, like I'm pushing guys over and making guys sit that should be playing or trying to play this guy, they know this is about covering for each other, trusting each other. Just had a guy come in and talk to our team about being, you know, to really trust and care. You can't be afraid to be vulnerable. And, you know, he also talked about, in your 20 minutes, you could be the most efficient player in the country. You can do that, and we're doing it. I mean, we're passing the ball to each other. You know, this after 10 or 12 games, I'll evaluate, see if we need to tweak anything. And the second thing is, you know, at the end of the day, is this the best way we can play to go compete for the whole thing? And that's what my job is, to evaluate that and figure it out. What I've told them is this is not communism. Someone deserves to play more, they will. One group deserves to play more, they will. And just talk to them about it. And then whatever I end up doing will be decided on the court. And it won't matter if you're a freshman, a junior, or sophomore.
John, the way
We have no seniors. We may have this team back next year. We could be really good.
John, the way that Trey played tonight, is that just pretty typical of what you see in practice?
Yeah, but he's not offensive rebounding the way he needs to. He's still not running the court the way he needs to. You know, he's got to step it up. But he's where the Twins were last year, where he didn't have the summer. And he just got back into it. So, and he's a great kid, and he can really score, and he's really skilled. Really skilled. Great hands, shoot the ball. You know, instead of coming to jump stops, he'll do a high school move and run somebody over, leave it off one foot. Has a good shot, will dribble into a bad shot, stuff like that, which are all, you know, freshman or high school things. But he's a terrific, you know, terrific player.
What have you seen Devin and Aaron shoot like this consistently in practice?
No one makes every shot.
Right.
I haven't played in a while, so. I just try to see if people are going to listen to what I'm saying.
What is that?
There are times when they're missing a lot of shots. You know, I mean, that happens. And this is one where they were making them. And they know they have the green light to shoot. There were a couple plays Devin should have passed the ball, and I got upset because, okay, you had 2 open shots and you had a guy open. Give him that next one. There were a couple 1-mores, which are that extra pass that we didn't make today, that I was disappointed in the guys, because we've been good with it. But as I say that, we had 32 assists. Now, many of them were just throwing the ball to the rim. But when you're Willie Cauley and you're 7 foot tall, I don't care who's out there. If Kareem is out there, we're still probably trying to throw that pass.
John, Coach Briggs a moment ago said he can't see how you guys can get beat this year. What do you think of that?
Coach, you do that to me. So he also said we're going to have 40 wins and win by 25, right? No, this will be a process. We're going to hit some bumps in the road. If I continue to do this and we play a team that's playing 6 guys, I've been there. I remember a team came to UMass playing 10 guys, #1 in the country and doing all that, and I played 6. And we beat them by 30. Who was that? Arkansas. And in my last year, Kentucky played 10, 11. They had 9 NBA players on that roster, and we beat them in Detroit with 6 guys. And they pressed and ran and trapped, and we beat them. So there's going to be games that playing this many is going to be hard. You know why? Because I'm expecting 10 guys to play well every night out, and that's not going to happen. No, I don't. I'm not. I'm expecting them to play hard and compete at a high level every night out. I think I can expect that, but it's still, they're not machines.
John, it's kind of on the same lines. In a normal year, a player would say, if
if I don't play well, I could lose some minutes. In this platoon system, you have some kind of good peer pressure. If I don't play well, my platoon may lose minutes.
Right. And I want them to talk to each other. Andrew's really taken on a great leadership role. He's unbelievable right now. He's talking to me. He feels good, comfortable, giving me ideas and stuff. And that's how this has eventually got to be his team and their team, not mine.
Cal, when you say Andrew gives you ideas and stuff, what's an idea he might give you?
Like, coach, make sure they're getting the ball to Trey some. Make them find Trey. He did that today. The other thing he was talking about is if these big run the court, we got to give it to him. So Dakari flew one time, and Tyler slowed it down and did, no. If that big guy runs, you run right there and try to throw him the ball to reward our bigs for running. And just think about it, every time we're on there, it's either Dakari flying, Willie flying, Carl flying, Marcus Lee flying. Your bigs better fly. And you better be playing more than 2 bigs. You better be playing 4 or 5 bigs.
John, get up a bit at this stage, how you feel about your defense and what you hope over the next few weeks to see there.
We got to get better. We still have some guys breaking down on pick and roll. Carl's got a long way to go. Trey's got a long way to go. Devin is really playing hard. I'm really pleased with how hard he's playing, but he's breaking down, taking chances defensively he doesn't need to take. We haven't done a whole lot of teaching of the trapping defense, so I'm just kind of throwing them out there. So the mistakes we made today were all out of the trapping defense. A couple, we didn't get up and guard people, but when we trapped, and again, we haven't worked on it, so that's why I didn't get too upset.
Kelly, you talked about Dakari flying. How much are you continuing to see the way he changed his body, change the way he plays, and maybe also only having to go 3 or 4 minute stretches at a time?
But he was exhausted in the last time out. He grabbed his shorts and was breathing so hard. I told the guys, look at him. That's what you all should feel like walking off this court. A friend of mine watched our game last week and said, as soon as your guys realize they can even play harder than they're playing, it becomes scary. It becomes scary. But I'm just telling you folks, it is a process. There's going to be a game or 2 we're going to lose, and you're going to look at me and say, what? And I'm going to say, it's about these kids. I'll figure it out. I'm not doing it yet. And this is going to play out. It may be a tweak. Maybe more than that. We'll figure out. But when you're playing 10 and another guy's got a solid 6, I've been there now. I've been there. The only difference is we really have more than a solid 10. I mean, is there a weak link out there? Is there one guy, well, he shouldn't be? No. I mean, every one of those guys deserves the minutes.
Dakari particularly, though, just in the way that you've seen his
Yeah, his body looks good. He's physical. He rebounds. What do you have rebounded today?
10.
10 rebounds in how many minutes? 17 minutes? He could have had a couple more, I guess. And Carl had 8 rebounds in 18 minutes. That's big.
John, how comfortable are you with the platoons as they are constituted right now?
You know, I'm comfortable. The only thing we got to do is if I'm making subs the last 7 or 8 minutes of the game, what would that be? And we got to start playing that unit this week. I just haven't done it. So I've asked each staff member to give me a finishing 5 that we would want to finish off the game with. Would it be that veteran team with Carl, or would there be a substitution or 2 in there? And what would that be? And I asked them to give me their opinions. I have my own, but I want to hear what they're saying. Now that I said that, I probably have 7 million suggestions on KSR. I don't listen to any of them. You do know that, right? Yes. Yep. Because I told him, you go 1 for 10, I can't play you that much. You do understand that. I love you. Oh, you're the greatest kid, but I'm not playing you. You do know that, right? And he comes over the gym. He's in there at night. We got a couple other guys that they went 2 weeks without being in there, and they started shooting bank misses. Like, why aren't you in here? Like, you walk 12 steps, you're in this practice facility. We don't have to be here. Spend 40 minutes before you go to bed. So These guys are committed. That's what's great about it. One, they're committed to each other, but they're committed to getting better. And the ones that are a little bit on that edge, like you got no choice here. You know, success isn't an option. If we have to drag you, then that's what we'll do. Don't want to. Rather than do it themselves, that makes them even better.
Time for one more.
Anything else? Thanks to Georgetown, you guys, appreciate it. They'll win their 30 games this year. And Pikeville's pretty good too now. Oh, they play Thursday? Wow. Thursday, where am I going to be? Yeah, better practice. Thanks, guys.